And joining us now, media columnist for the New York Times, Jim Rutenberg. His latest column, entitled "The Independent Press is Under Siege as Freedom Rings." Yeah. Well, we heard the president talking a little bit about freedom of speech during his scripted speech.
In the speech, right after attacking the media.
Yeah.
In the press conference before the speech.
So.
Well, you know, I saw that part of the speech and I said, well, that's heartening, you know, and then I turned on the device. Oh, God. And you see the press statement.
You said it before.
Before. I mean, fake news, you know, CNN fake news in Poland.
So I guess what I don't understand is why he's doing this, because he's helped the New York Times.
Yeah,
he's helped the Washington Post tremendously. His attacks against us certainly did nothing but drive our rating
Congratulations.
up. And the thing is, we didn't want it. We would have preferred to have, you know, lower ratings. But everybody he attacks seems to be doing better.
It helps them. It solidifies the mission. It, you know, the readers say we want a free press. It ups our value.
So why is he doing that? He's actually driving more readers to the New York Times and the Washington Post and to this show by attacking.
Well, I have two theories. I wonder if one is concerned about the base, just keeping that his base loves it when he bashes us. And secondarily, maybe he just gets angry, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm sorry. Not to go back to what we, you know, experienced, but I could feel in real time this guy, because we were having fun with the Time cover, which is hilarious. It's funny.
Right.
We've made fun of lots of people for funny things.
Right.
And as part of, you know, being a president of the United States, honestly, you know, fun humor as well as analysis. Yeah. And I could feel his blood boiling, because I know him. I'm sorry. And the guy reacts. He can be played.
Well,
it's scary.
And people close to him will tell you that he feels betrayed sometimes when he thinks people are his friends. Look at his comment today, NBC. I made them a lot of money, but they don't understand. They forget that.
But that's what I'm talking about. That sort of childlike mind is what I'm worried about. That there is this sort of almost 8-year-old temperament. I have to punch right now, or that was wrong. I need to say something, when it was something completely unimportant to the grand scheme of things. I mean,
so you're saying it's not thought out?
Maybe it's a combination of everything. Who knows? I mean, but the message it sends, that's why this morning to me is so important and not good. What happened is, when you go overseas to a country where press freedom is under siege, and you repeat a message that supports that president's own anti-press positions, that's just not what I thought this country was about. Press freedom is so fundamental.
Yeah. Mark,
what's the things that press is doing that are playing into his hands that we should do better to protect the public interest?
It's a great question, and I think we have to be really careful. Minimize mistakes, obviously, and take the emotion out. It's hard when reporters are getting attacked. It's very hard, but you have to take the emotion out and
totally
stay
agree
on
with
fact.
you.
And it speaks to a global phenomenon, too. There was this incredible moment when Russian President Vladimir Putin was meeting with the Chinese president, and an RT reporter introduced them and started talking about fakeovy novosti. The Russian word for fake news is fakeovy. And she talked about how she, as a journalist, was speaking about how journalists around the world are using the fourth estate, wanting to turn it into the first, and that journalism, bad journalism, fake journalism, is the cause of so many wars and so many deaths around the world. So this isn't just a U.S. phenomenon that we're seeing with our president right now. We're seeing this around the world.
Well, right, because it feels sometimes less anti-MSM, mainstream media, and more anti the practice of journalism as it's come to be practiced in the modern era. You know, people want journalism is going to support their worldview, and that's it.
Do you look into the fact that there were media entities that family members wanted to buy? I mean, is there a grand scheme here? Or is it more my fear that he just has a kind of childlike reaction to things?
Well, there's his reaction, and then there's the people around him and their reaction, right? And we do know that had he not won the presidency, he was looking into a media play himself, right? The family was. Steve Bannon is from conservative media, so who knows? It's all a big stew.
So what does the media do moving forward to, obviously, the media was blindsided by Donald Trump's victory. Most did not see it coming. Most still cannot understand how 35, 36, 37% of Americans can still support Donald Trump, but they are out there, and many of them are in my family, and many of them are
friends, sure.
our friends. You know, a lot of us in the media go back to family reunions, and we find Trump supporters around the table. We're still asking the question, how does the media connect with the rest of America?
Well, what we can't do, and I fear we are doing maybe too much of, is forgetting the lessons that we said we were learning after we did miss that part of the election story. And so it's going back to what we were all saying. Hopefully, not all of us have to go back. We're doing it and getting out in the country, talking to people, keeping our ears open, and shelving again our own emotions when we're being attacked. It's not part of the story when you're trying to understand the country.
We were surprised even, I wouldn't say surprised, I thought it was going to be closer. I still thought the Republican was going to win. But Georgia 6 was a clear victory for Republicans and a clear defeat for Democrats that a lot of people in the media didn't see coming.
If that part of your mindset is that America must reject Trump, anytime Trump is in any way validated, it's hard for people to process. But this is
you got to de-emotionalize it.
Yeah, it's a much more complicated thing than most of the coverage suggests.
It's a movement that would have been there even had he not come along.
Right.
Some other candidate
That's
could have
correct.
picked up on the same thing.
And it will only be stronger in 2020, whether it's Donald Trump or somebody else.
The New York Times, Jim Rutenberg. Thank you so
Jim.
much.
Thanks.
Good to see
Thanks
you.
for having
Good to
me.
have you on. Tomorrow will be another big morning here on Morning Joe.
Noogies.
Big attack.
Why
Noogies.
are you attacking him?
loving noogies.
You gave him a
Did he
noogie?
give you
Loving
permission to get into
Is
his
this
face?
So
1979?
it's like Jif coming on.
National TV.
All right.
Okay, we gotta go.
Anyhow, tomorrow is a big morning. We're going to see President Trump come face to face with Vladimir Putin as they arrive at the G20 summit in Hamburg, Germany. It should be a fascinating morning.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.